Hi, Tara. This is Kathy.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you, with finding the harp in my new success cube, um, do you remember the name of, oh my goodness me, the Muse, Celestial Voice, and do you recommend, or do you think it would be a good idea for me to seek her out and spend a little time with her?
Yes, certainly so. Well, the muse that comes to mind is Calliope, but it may not be exactly the one that is for celestial voice. You can research that.
Okay.
As they say, you can Google it, of course. There are 9 of them. However, what's important is to simply call on the muse, for it is an archetypal energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So though there are 9 and you can be as specific as you want to be, what you are doing when you call upon the muse is you are opening yourself to all 9 of the energies. And the ones
Oh, cool.
that are right for you will come at different times. And that is much more productive for you because are so many energies you are working with currently. For you, it will be more fun to see which one shows up. And certainly so, if it interests you, you can research who they are so that you recognize them more readily. But understand that what you read is simply information and has nothing to do with the archetype that comes to you.
Okay.
Meaning the words trigger certain energies, but it is not the purity of the archetype. And so to trust your intuition and trust the experience that you have when you encounter them.
Great. Very good. Thank you.
Certainly so. And the harp is, the image of the harp is the way for you to call on that archetype. So as you go into a meditative state, perhaps you're in your safe place, perhaps you are in your success cube where the harp is there for you. It doesn't matter where you begin, but as you allow yourself in a meditative state to bring that harp before you and to strum it, and as you strum, to feel the shift in the energy, to feel the muse come through either the music or the waves of energy or the harmonies. And you will know when they arrive because the sound will still. You will just feel as though, oh, I don't have to strum anymore. They are here. And then to have your experience, you don't have to stay at the harp. They might take you on a journey. They may take you on an adventure. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Tara.
Certainly so. We love you so. And is there anything else before we move on?
No, that was really wonderful advice. Thank you.
All right, then. And so who is next? Please unmute yourself.
I had a dream of a missing finger. And I looked it up, and apparently something has gone, and I prefer to think of something positive. Something positive came from it. In other words, whatever's gone was something negative. And then last night I had a dream about somebody coming into my closet and swapping some shoes. And I love my shoes and my clothes and all that stuff. I'm still a real peacock, even at 62 years old. And but they took out a very expensive pair of my shoes and they put in some cheap shoes in there. And what I think happened there was a trust issue came up. Maybe you can help me out with these 2 different dreams.
All right, certainly so. And know that we are working between the words as we speak.
Yes, of course.
All right. And certainly so. You refer to yourself as like a peacock, but actually it's a more beautiful energy even than that. And that
Oh, thank
is
you.
that the clothing connects you to your father and the love that you have for your father. For it was a big part of your growing up. The shop that he had, the attention to detail, the excellence of the tailoring. And he was a real artist, wasn't he, in his field?
Yeah, absolutely. He was so well liked and so well respected for his sense of color and style.
Yes,
I
and
admired him
you
so
did gain that in spite of the fact that you are colorblind to some degree.
much. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and it is wonderful. And so to honor that and to that dream is that you were not allowing the beauty of that relationship to carry you forward. So it's quite important to retrieve those expensive shoes in meditation, to say, no, I'd like to have those back, please, because they represent the excellence and the wonderful depth of relationship I have with my father.
Yeah.
And there is that sense that you were diminishing yourself in that relationship, that, well, maybe I'm not worthy. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I didn't achieve enough for his approval. Maybe I don't deserve the expensive shoes. But as you meditatively insist on having them back, trading them back out, and say, no, even if I don't feel my worth, I know that it's a lie. I know that my father loves me from beyond, that he's with me in spirit, and that I learned so much from him. I learned about valuing excellence and artistry as well. I learned about how to take something I'm passionate about and create artistry with it. And so that handles that dream, so to speak, meaning it interprets it enough for you to work with it. And you may get more meaning from it even as you sit. Allow your father to come and speak with you. Allow those shoes to be the connection. Allow your imagery to have you hand him the shoes and he hands you the beautiful ones, the expensive ones. And he'll throw those old ones away. They don't suit you after all. They're really not who you are. And as you step into those shoes, as you step into the expensive shoes and claim them as your new image, and you recognize, oh, I'm not adopting my father's image, but I can cloak myself in that energy of excellence and artistry that I inherited from him. And it makes me more of who I am. And you will feel a shift as you recognize more of who you truly are in that exercise. All right, and we want to ask, which of the digits did you lose?
Well, it was on my right hand, and it was the fourth one, the one right next to the pinky.
Yes, so the ring finger.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. All right, and it is not the relationship finger. In some cultures it is. But it is about your willingness to commune. And there is that sense that you have cut yourself off from love. And so the dream is about, oh, I feel like I've cut myself off, but I don't know how I did it. All I know is I lost something. Well, today's meditation reclaimed that energy. And we encourage you to repeat the exercise from time to time, to go and drift and go into Lemuria, into that lifetime, into whichever being you called forth. Were you the dreamer or the healer or the magician?
Oh, are you asking me now? Okay. I was the dreamer.
Yes. And who is the dreamer but the dreamer who dreams the dreams for you? And so to go back into your dreamer's body and then in that place, dream your new dreams for this lifetime. And to reconnect with that love. There is a reason why you speak of Maui. There is that Lemurian energy that calls you. But you don't have to wait to imbue yourself with that energy. You don't have to wait to get there. You can imbue yourself now. And in a short amount of time, you will find yourself living in that energy. It is within you, truly so. And you can imbue all of your reality with that energy, that connection. Right. And John, is there anything on your part?
No, Tara, I keep coughing. So.
Yes. So allow us to work with that cough.
Okay.
Yes, there is some reluctance, absolutely so, to be with the goddess. Even with all that you are doing, part of the process is to release the resistance, is to confront, why am I disconnecting? Or why am I so disconnected now? And how do I get back to what I want to feel like? And so you are still in that place, John, of feeling so separate. I don't feel my worth. I don't feel that I'm worth loving. I don't feel that I'm all that self-aware. And yet, with all the years and all the work I've done, why not? What's wrong with me? And so as you allow us to simply shift the energies a bit, lift from you that sense of despair that gets in the way. And there is grief that causes the cough. There is that sense of all the time from the moment you had your wounding, when the choice was made to disconnect more consciously, there is that sense of frustration and anger and impatience. And why can't I just not do that? But it is part of your patterning. It is part, as we have said, the wounding occurs in all the lifetimes in a similar way because it's there to be healed. It's there to be worked with in that lifetime. Not because you have to fix something you did wrong, but because it is the most elegant way to reconnect with soul. And it is the soul's journey that is important, isn't it? And it is your soul. And therefore you are important. You are an important participant in assuring your soul returns to God and Goddess, but with consciousness, your consciousness. It is you who brings that gift. And each of you it's important to value yourselves and the role that you play. And of course, it makes you crazy. Why? There's pain, there's suffering, there's failure, there's disappointment. Everybody says just focus on the love and then I'll have more love. Well, it is true, isn't it? When you take the time to shift from the pain and the suffering and you begin to look for more things to be grateful for, more things to love, as you begin to do that, you do create more reasons why. It doesn't make the suffering go away, though, does it? You have to make peace with the reason. You have to look for the luminous intent. What was it about my wounding that had to occur that I can make peace with now because I had a luminous intent? And we've talked to you more recently about the separation and the longing for. That is the definition of pain. We've talked to you about how the purpose of the separation and the longing for is to individuate so that you become a conscious co-creator. And on that journey to return home consciously so, to co-create from that place as one with God and Goddess, but without losing your identity, without losing your sense of self. For it is the self, I, that you contribute. And that is something that has never been. And each of you are contributing your self-I. And each of you are unique. Each of you have been on your own unique soul's journey. And you have rounded the bend. And now it's time to answer the longing for. And to release yourself from the pain and suffering of the separation. And so we work with you on that. And in the coming months, in the coming year, you will find more and more of your true self. You will rediscover your soul's purpose. And you will be able to release the suffering. All right, then. Is there anything else before we go on?
No.
All right. We love you so. And certainly so, that conversation was for all of you. For it is a time of awakening. Your world is awakening. Your world requires the help that you bring, the maps you are making, the journey, the courage, the commitment, the initiating energies that you each bring. Your world needs from you. They cannot do it alone. Many are not map maker magicians. There are many, but there are many more who are relying on each of you to bring those energies into play. And even as they are your illusion, the soul in them is the more real. And so allow that honoring to move you forward. The optimal future of coming home will guide you. For that future has more light and more love than any others. All right, and with that, we will go for now. Certainly so. We go with love and peace, knowing that we will revisit this topic many more times. And we encourage you to repeat the meditation that takes you to Lemuria, to commune with the you who never disconnected, who never separated. And yet it is you who has the treasure, the gift of the self. And so we go for now. As we bring Katharina back, we go with love and peace. Until next time.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Tara. Beautiful.
Thank you, Tara.